All right, hello, Cheerskevin here, and happy 2019. We are playing some more AstroBlock, and I'm excited because I've been able to craft up some materials, and I think hopefully we'll be able to improve our situation. Now, when we last left off, we were slowly trickling our battery. You can see we are still slowly trickling our battery, which is not great, because we're only generating a piddly 2 RF per tick from the solar panel, so, and that's with 100% visibility, so we gotta fix this. And the goal was to at least get our basic generator working. Now this is a coal generator that operates off of coal. Now we can throw some charcoal into it, but better would be to automate the production of wood so that we can get charcoal and get a close, or at least near enough to a continuous supply in here. Now we're still in here in this little room because it's the one that has this oxygen thing, so then we don't have to worry about refilling up our oxygen tanks. But that does require more power than we have, so we're on borrowed time at the moment. I've also been slowly growing up some wheat, although I'm wondering now, I think we may have some issues with wheat because I don't think you can make bread with it. Oh, you can make flour. And then you can make flour into dough. Okay. So it's a process. Regular bread has to come from infected wheat, which, how do we, okay, that's not even let's say fine bread. Okay, so we can make bread, so we'd have to find yeast and salt. Oh, goodness. Okay, so this is probably not the best way for us to fix our food supply issues. We'll have to figure out a better solution for that. In the meantime, we'll eat some rations. I've got some melonade, and it's delicious. But no, I'm bringing you in here because we have crafted up a compressor, which you can use to compress ingots into plates. We had the coal generator at the end of the last episode, and we also have a metallic infuser. Now this takes power. You put a thing in here, you put a thing that you want to infuse it with, and out pops something else. How is that for a great description for you? The reason we needed this is that we need to create some steel, because with steel we can take these bonsai pots, which grow trees in these little pots and stuff, combine them with hoppers, which requires steel in this pack, and then we can set that on top of a chest and start automatically spitting out wood into a chest, which is something we desperately need. So, yeah, we're just going to dive right in and see how well we can do with that. So if we look at the recipe for the hopper, yeah, so it's 5 compressed steel, a pipe, which does require a fair number of copper ingots. Actually, I may have to do some additional sifting, too. I probably should have done that ahead of time, but I was excited. Compressed steel, so this requires steel ingots. Now, there are 2 versions of these. I think this is not the one that we wanted. Yeah, it's not. This one? Yes, this we smelt up from steel dust. Now, steel dust you get from putting enriched iron in the metallurgic infuser. Enriched iron you get from putting regular iron in metallurgic infuser. So we have to infuse some iron and actually, I am going to put some coal in here so this thing starts producing power, because this thing will also start using power. So we're going to put in some iron. Actually, there we go. I've got plenty of iron. Love it. And so I've got this iron to start, and I'll say, hey, infuse that with some coal, please. And here's the amount of carbon that we have. We have 14. I think each one of these counts for each charcoal gives us 20, I think, because it converts it into some unit that we don't know. This is generating 75 RF per tick. Now I think it's filling up its internal buffer. No, that one's infilled. That one's full. So are we actually? Any chance we're going up? No. Okay. Of course not. If only. Oh, yeah, no, we're actually draining fairly quickly, so it's a good thing that we're doing it now. Okay, enriched iron, we need at least 10 of this, and then we have to put it through again as a whole additional process to get things to work. So this is going to be tricky. Let's go ahead and pull. We'll let that go ahead and finish up because I think it just happens to be. Let's throw some more charcoal in here. Throw some more of this. Just fill up that buffer. Of course, it's a very tiny sliver down here, so you're not going to be able to see it. And then once that's done, I think this takes its own fuel. I don't know. We'll have to play with that because I've played with the infuser before briefly, not played with the compressor at all. These are fully infused. Now we have to enrich them again with more carbon. I think that's going to be enough carbon, but I'm not positive. Let's go ahead and throw some more of this in here, just to be sure. And there we go. This becomes steel dust, which we can smelt into steel ingots. Then we combine those ingots combine those ingots into or compress those ingots into plates, and then can make a single hopper. This is a very expensive. Power-wise, this is getting pretty darn expensive, so it's going to be tricky. Okay, so we have 10 steel dust that we can now go ahead and throw up in here. Let's go ahead and just take this out. Put our steel dust in there, get ourselves some steel ingots going, and I do need to. I was going through and figured I would try and quickly get a bunch of stuff sifted off camera, but then I accidentally hammer smashed things a little too far. So let me get this down to gravel. And then go ahead and sift through the gravel, hopefully get us enough nice copper chunks. Okay, we do have steel ingots. Yeah, copper does seem to be a relatively rare drop, so I'm going to have to do a fair bit of sifting, I think. Let's see about how this compression stuff works, right? So it goes like this, and then progress is nil. But if we put in some fuel, is this going to compress? Yes. Awesome. And I don't know how many stacks it'll compress, but hopefully this should give us some compressed steel, and then we'll be able to use that. Yeah, there we go. And we got 2 of those for each of the... Oh, so we're actually going to have enough material to make 2 hoppers with that. Awesome. All right, well, in the meantime, I'm going to get back to sifting. Okay, so I've got a whole bunch of copper smelting up. The other thing that we need is a dropper, which is like so. Get the dropper because that gets surrounded. So yeah, to get this pipe, we need the dropper and then need to basically put a hopper pattern around there. We get 16 pipes from this recipe. So we'll have enough to couple to our hopper, we'll have enough to make a fair bit of hoppers. The steel will be most assuredly the limiting factor. And oh boy, we're so very, very, very low. I almost think so. Being able to power the oxygen compressor is kind of important. But I feel like it's time to break that end of things and then see how are we looking. Okay, then we actually do gain power. So now we're running entirely off of our oxygen tanks, which is, well, okay, I guess we're not right now because maybe we still have. Oh yeah, this is draining off of its internal battery. Yeah, I mean, because we need to be able to refill our oxygen tanks. That's not something we can just turn off. The same with the cryosleep stuff. And as long as as long as that's able to keep up, then basically we just don't have a nice compressed room. And I hope that the plants will still grow with no oxygen. I don't know if that's something that's a necessity, but okay, it looks like we have the materials. And hopefully we're able to automate things so we actually have a generator that's able to produce some nice stuff for us. Okay, so that, and then this, please. What? Only 2. Oh, right, we still have, there we go. Left those in there. Let's make ourselves some hoppers. Should be able to make 2 of those. Awesome. Let's grab, let's grab this one. Thank you. Oh, where did that go? Got some of the ingredients. And let's also make let's make a double chest real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom. And do that, and then balance it, and 2 chests. And we'll go ahead and just toss those right over here. And if we combine these these bonsai pots with the hoppers, now this is a hopping bonsai pot, and we will get some lovely automatically depositing stuff going on in there. Now, it's not always going to be... why are you not? Come on. Whenever you're ready. Is it just not like that space for some reason? Huh. Okay, so that one's growing. I don't know what the deal is with this one. That's very weird. I mean, I guess it could just... Does it not like this block? Does it not like being over there on the side? I don't know. But yeah, this one at least should work, and I can sort of expand this out as we go, and it should drop off materials in the chest, then we don't have to worry about it, which is great. Okay, so I do want to try and figure out what the deal is power-wise. Can I get at that, please? Oh, there we go. We've picked it up. So I'm going to take our coal generator and we'll move it off of the grid and try just running our own little separate grid for the time being off of that generator alone, just so that we can verify that it works the way that we expect it to. I'm going to need a little bit more coal, though. Okay, yeah, I think there must be something about that corner. Maybe it's a light level issue or this vertical space. I don't know. But two of those work in that sort of configuration. So fair enough. Let's take our generator and whatnot out here, because here we are off the grid entirely, and we can do some testing. So I'm just going to plop down our coal generator and our compressor. Actually, not the we don't need the. We just need the coal generator, and then we'll use our jetpack charger too, because I want to see if this is able to get power from it on any side, on some sides. I don't know. So if I stand in here now, oh, this has. Okay, it still makes noise for some reason. That's fine. If I shift right, okay, I get no info, and we're not getting any charge, which is to be expected. And if we look at it, it says 0 RF. If we go in here and we put in some stuff, this should start to build up its own RF. It's not generating, now it's generating. And if I stand here, am I going to get something? So the coal generator is almost topping off, and then what happens? It looks like nothing. This charge pad does not seem to pick up anything from it, so I'm wondering if there is a side that this thing needs to be on. Actually, well, first let's see, do I need to point this in that direction? I'm trying to do this before we run out of fuel. Actually, let's... Okay, so we're not picking up charge there. What about on this red side? Oh, there we go. Okay. And now I can go ahead and charge entirely off the hook. Okay, well, in that case, I think our coal generator may not have been contributing to the network at all. It may have been able to feed from the network, but not put stuff on the network, which, yeah, would explain a little bit. So, let's see, if we think about, basically that red port needs to aim to the network. That's going to be its power output port. And that means that we basically want it to be down here flush with the floor, I guess. And I think, yeah, there is a little bit of area down here where some piping set up. So we should be able to put this down here and then hopefully contribute back to the network. We'll have to put that wire back. But then hopefully we can start getting some proper power stuff in place as well. So just to make sure this is facing the right way, have to go like so. I hope. Wait a second. Let's just double check that. Nope, that's wrong. Oh, that's the wrong part. Not just wrong, it's the wrong part. There we go. Coal generator. Point it this way. There we go. So now the output is pointed toward the network, which is great. We'll put down a tin decoration block back where it was supposed to go. So now the output from here should point into our network. Well, the network in the floor at least. And the network in the floor. Yeah, so we'll go ahead and reconnect this. And then, see, yeah, so we have almost no energy here. But if we go in here and just dump in some charcoal, let's see what happens. Okay, it's taking a little bit to warm up, generating its own stuff. Oh, and it's still building its own, yeah, its own stash for the moment. That's fine. We expect it to do that. But hopefully, given sufficient time. Yeah, okay, so now it's full, which means here. Still don't seem to be getting much. Although, so the oxygen sealer is building up its backlog as well. Okay, so we've got a lot of things that need to fill up their backlog. So the question is, do we have the ability to produce enough charcoal to fix the problem? And the answer is probably not yet. But if we can keep this thing running, we'll be at least a step in the right direction. Well, I did just look, and there was a little rewards button in the quest achievement log thing, and hey, look, we got some pig bait and a bucket. Oh, pig bait, actually. Yeah, that was right up here. Oh, emergency items and a wiki. Cool. But yeah, it looks like we happened to get all the things that we needed for anti-radiation potions. There was something else. Oh, yeah, and then just making this compressor. We got an achievement for that. We'll get one for making the metallurgic infuser. We just haven't gotten there yet because it also wants to create a circuit fabricator. And it does look like some of the other stuff in the generator side of things, like the solar panels and whatnot, they do require us to print assorted circuits of assorted kinds. So yeah, I'm kind of nervous. I'll be honest that it does not seem like we're making a ton of progress, but oh, place more blocks from the animal's biome here. Okay. Can I say never mind? So, okay, place more blocks from the animal's home biome. So okay, maybe that's a way that we can spawn in animals. If we just so happen to, so we'll have to get some grass blocks, I guess, or maybe dirt blocks would work. Should we try it? No, I mean we already have dirt blocks up here, so. Well, the infuser we don't really. I mean, it's a battery here. That's good, and yeah, we are now officially pretty much out of power. We're down to pretty much nothing, and that's troublesome. So, and of course, it's hard to even know if this is helping because once we get in, well, I guess we can, let's look. Okay, 2 RF, and yeah, I guess it'll stay at a constant low. The problem is that even once this thing is powered on, it's going to be worrying about the backfill here and then the backfill, well, basically on everything else that's connected to the network. So my guess is we're not going to see anything really creep up here in the energy storage cluster. I suppose one thing we could do, yeah, why didn't I think about this? We could put the energy storage cluster, or we could put the coal furnace up there, next to the battery and before all of this, right? That wouldn't be the worst idea. How much, yeah, we've got plenty of oxygen, so we can go ahead and shut things down for a little bit. Yeah, let's try migrating that. So there we go. We got the coal out of there. And, no, not the compressor. Oh, my inventory's full of stuff. Okay, fair enough. Get rid of some of this junk. And where are we? Compressor, coal furnace. There we go. And we want the coal furnace. So if we put this, we place this like here. There we go. And now the red goes out to there. So cool. And in theory, this should have nothing drawing on it. So it should be getting power from the solar panel. It should be getting 2 RF per tick. And we can see, oh, it actually seems to be getting significantly more than that. All right, 22, 23. Well, it's still taking a while. Oh wait, sorry, RF per tick, right? Not RF per second. Never mind. That's fine. Okay. Then let's go ahead and just throw this in here and see if we suddenly start shooting up like crazy. So this is going to create some hull heat, and now this should be doubling, if not doing way better. Yeah, I think that is contributing. That very well may be helping. I mean, yeah, that's definitely faster. Okay, fair enough. So it is of some use, even if it's not always immediately clear. Big question now is there a way for us to, I guess we'll, yeah, drop that off there. Is there a way for us to keep this thing filled somewhat consistently? And to do that, well, we would need to rig up from here into, actually I have yeah. So one of the challenges, we would need an item filter. So we're able to generate these various assorted tree items. We would need to filter out just the oak wood and pipe it into a furnace. We have to pipe the output of that furnace into the fuel slot of the furnace, but then also secondarily out to our generator, right? So that we don't run out of fuel, because we need to have charcoal to burn the incoming wood as well. That's in theory doable. But let's see. We need to figure out the item filter. Okay, so there is an item filter item. Needs a machine base. It needs a chest, some paper, which we. Oh goodness. Okay. Let's see. How can we get paper? Sugar cane? No. Wood chippings. Sawdust? No. Okay. Yeah, I don't want to find it in the dungeon chest, but thanks. So sawdust, wood chippings, sawdust, wood chippings. I think this was a recipe that I had looked at before and has since changed again. Oh, well, that's a bummer. if we can't filter items, that's significantly, well, we would need to create a precision sawmill, which requires steel casing, which is compressed iron, compressed steel, osmium. So a lot of stuff here. It feels weird to me because, and it could just be because this is a relatively new mod pack, hasn't been tuned super well, and it could just be that I'm a noob to the game and there are some obvious paths that I am missing. But it definitely feels like we are struggling to survive, and the solutions that we're coming up with are things that are, I guess, more middle game. It feels like the early game stuff is tuned just a little bit more difficult than is perhaps warranted. So I'm wondering if there's something obvious that I'm missing, and for that, I'm gonna have to turn to you guys for your advice. If we get So that's the only way that I know to do the sort of item filtering, because we don't. Oh, actually, you know what? Never mind. Maybe the pipes will automatically filter stuff for us. We can at least give that a shot. We got a couple of pipes automatically. Yeah, the elite logistical transporter. Let's create a. Actually, I think we may have a furnace. We've certainly got furnace slabs, and I think we can combine those to make a proper furnace. And weirdly enough, I think it's a shaped recipe, so we have to do it there. That's fine. So what if, and I'm just going to break into the floor so I can make sure that the directions are exactly the way that I want. What happens if inside here, this thing is hot and heavy and ready to go, so it's got fuel in it, just assuming that that's already the case. We take out an elite logistical transporter and then throw it into the top there. Oh, you know what? I'm going to need a configurator to do that. I don't know if we can test that. Energy tablet requires a bunch of gold, which I think we do have the materials for, and then enriched alloy, which is iron enriched with redstone, which we have the stuff to do. I mean, we'll have to use some power to do it. Can I dump this? No, it looks like not. Okay, we've got redstone. We've got Okay, so we need no. Okay, so 2 of those, and then so we need 4 of those. So we need 4 iron. Actually, I'm just going to stick a whole bunch of iron in here because we've got to get rid of this carbon. So we'll have to make some more steel in the process. Let me gather up some of our redstone as well, so that once that's done, we can create 4 of that enriched stuff. And then we do have gold ore pieces, so I can go ahead and get those smelting as well. Okay, so we finally burned through the that process. Now we'll just put in 1, 2, 3, 4. I think that's yeah. Okay, so it looks like you get 10 of the material for each item that you drop in, and this will give us enriched alloy, because you need the configurator to configure whether something is input or output. This will take any redstone and enriched alloy and gold ingots, and then what was the other thing? A lapis, which I do happen to have. Cool. Cool. We've got 3 of those. Let me take some of this out. And we should be good. Come on. Okay, so we'll make one of these energy tablet things that's not charged, and then a configurator that is also not charged. And then I'm going to put this configurator in my hotbar and then take off my jetpack, because what I need to do is stand on the jetpack charger. Okay, let's move this. Go. And then hopefully, okay, this is pulling a little bit of charge. That's good. That's what we want. And now I should be able to take this and right-click, convert this to pull. Oh, look at that. And push. Yeah, well, I guess we didn't need to do that. Now, if I take these out, though, is it going to take... No. Okay, awesome. So it will only take the combustible materials and put them in the furnace. Okay. Okay, this is promising. Well, if that's true, then we could take more of these pipes. Let's try. Actually, now I'm wondering, can I just straight up take Ideally, we want to have enough of these things that we're producing a near enough to constant stream of. Oh, look at that! Look at that! That's not too bad. We managed to actually backfill a little bit. We want to have a near enough stream to constant because if this thing if the coal generator cools down, it's less efficient. So we want to have that thing running constantly. Now, that means that we need more transporters. Logistical. See, basic logistical transporter requires steel, and then basic control circuits, which are osmium ingots infused with redstone. Those are all doable. We have steel. Bit of a resource hog, but it is something that is doable. So I tell you what, I think we'll go ahead and end it there because I'm sure we're starting to get a little long. Hopefully, I'll be able to. Actually, no. I want to do one. I need to do one more test, guys. Let's try this out. I know I'm using the wrong tools for stuff. Shame on me. My question is, if we put the pipe directly underneath, if we just run the pipe in without having the chest at all, is that going to be a problem? Will it stop growing stuff because it's like, hey, I don't know what to do with this extra resources, or will it just kind of void the materials we don't use? Because well, I mean, I've got a hope. It could be really, really nice. Yeah. Okay. So let's convert this to push. And now let's see here. Do we get anything out of this? Okay. So that it stopped and replanted. And the question is just, does this? So right now this is empty. It's waiting. And if we can just get it, because if this works, then we can go ahead and let it go ahead and replant. And as long as it doesn't produce any logs, then, you know, whatever, it'll go ahead and just replant it. That's fine. But as soon as we get some logs, it'll go ahead and send them straight into the furnace. And that would be awesome. Okay, so the bummer here is that it looks like, there's not an easy, practical logistics guide. Well, okay, that'd be nice to have. There's not an easy way to have it just, because it'll pull, because you can put sticks in this slot, it'll pull whatever it can into that slot. Yeah, like a sapling. It's put a sapling in there right now. The sapling's not going to do anything there, but it's going ahead and pushing it there because it can go in that slot. So we will have to figure out some sort of way of filtering out, and the item filter would do that. It's just, let's see, the machine base requires some stone. That's doable. Yeah, the paper is just, I don't know how we get the paper. I mean, I guess the sawmill honestly isn't too bad. Oh man, things are starting to become simpler when the options become less available. Yeah, okay. So if we take sawdust, that's basically just putting planks in here, and we'll get some sawdust out of here. So the sawmill requires iron, enriched alloy, which we have made, basic control circuit, which is infusing osmium, and then a steel casing, which is a bunch of compressed plates. Okay, so this is all stuff that we could do. I'm sure we've gone way, way, way over time. To get the item filter working is going to take a little bit more time, but once we have that, then we can get a whole string of pipes up here, get a whole bunch of hopping bonsai trees playing around and having a lot of fun, and then feeding directly into a furnace. We can get that furnace feeding out directly into itself to keep it permanently fueled, and then also divert it off into this coal generator. So yeah, we'll give that a shot. I'll hopefully have most of that set up by the time that the next episode comes around, and I will see you then. So have a fantastic start to your new year, and I will see you around soon. Cheers.